variable, I will say that if I want to store certain value into my memory location, then that memory location will be given certain name, and that is called as a variable. So basically variables are used to store your data. Whenever if I write a C program and if I say that I want to store certain data, I will be requiring a variable. Now what this variable does, consider these are my three variables. So I have created a boxes here. So this box, consider this as a memory box. So this is my memory box. Now when I create a variable, there will be three elements which will be attached to that variable. What will be those three elements is, first is its value, means what we are going to store it in that memory box. Second thing is its unique address. So the number that is 1000, it is assumed that it is the address. So this is the address of this memory block. And the third thing is its name. So that is called as variable. So the three elements which will be attached or which will be allocated for every variable will be value, its address, and its name, whatever the name will be. Similarly, I have created this second variable. Similarly, I have created this third variable. Certain basic data types which is called as integers, floating point numbers, double precision numbers, and the characters. So the example given here are considered as integers, floats, and characters. So all these basic data types we will be using. Each data type will be having certain value which we can store. So when I say that integers, I am not allowed to store a decimal value. If I take an example of characters, I am allowed to store only single letter. I can't store a group of letters, or I can't store a word using my basic concepts of C programming. It is not possible. So these are the basic data types that we will be using. So I hope you know that every data type has certain memory bytes, or which requires certain memory bytes to store on a machine. So this table gives you the number of bytes which are required to store on a 32-bit machine. So these numbers, that is 1, 4, 4, and 8, these are given in bytes. It is not bit, it is bytes. So when I say character data type, it takes 1 byte of memory to store in the memory, to store. Integer takes 4 bytes, float number takes 4 bytes, and a double will take 8 bytes. I have a variable, it means that there are certain values which can change in it, whereas a constant cannot change its value. So if at any point of my program I declare a variable as a constant, it means that the compiler is going to give me a error if I change that value. So how we have to write, or how we have to declare a constant? So there is a certain syntax that we have to follow. So the basic syntax which is used to declare a variable is, you have to write the data type and then you have to write certain variable name. So this is the basic syntax of writing a variable. Now if I want to write a constant, then I have to use the const keyword, I have to use the data type, and then I have to use the variable name. So the variable name can be any name. So right now on the screen or on the slide, the example which is considered is that const is my keyword, float is my data type, capital Pi is my variable name, and is equal to whatever the value which is given here, that will be considered as a constant value which will be stored in this variable. So whenever I'm writing a variable name with a equal to sign, it means that whatever the value I give on the right hand side, that will be given to that variable name. So pi will be having a value of 3.1412. F indicates it is a float. This f is totally optional. If you don't write this f, then also this number will be considered as a float number itself. So keep in mind that if you want in your program certain variables in which you don't want to change the values, you can declare them as a constant. So basically, there are two types of constant, that is numeric constant, or you can consider as a character constant. So in numeric, you can have integer constants, you can have floating point constants. So again, with a integer data type, you can create constant. Floating point, I've given an example of pi. So that was a floating point constant. For characters also, you can create single character constant also, and a backslash character constant. Now, what is this backslash character constant? That I'm going to take it within few slides. So just wait. I will explain what these backslash character use your data type which you want, and use a variable name that you want to give to that variable. So by that, again, by using a equal to sign, you can give its value. So you can take any example and you can create certain constants. Now, this is the part which is very important for your programming part. Again, there are multiple operators here which are listed. So we are going to learn one by one each of these operators, but I will give you a brief what these operators are. First of all, if you consider the category, there are four types of operators. First one is a unary operator. When I say that I am using a unary operator, it means that it will have only one operand. Binary operators will be having two operands. Ternary operator will be having three operands, and bitwise it is going to perform the operation on bit by bit basis. So here is the list of unary operators. It is given here with a comma. So all these are unary operators, and we are going to learn, or we are going to use each one of these operators. Means unary also, we are going to use the binary also, we are going to write a program with ternary also, and with the bitwise also. So basic operations which we know is the arithmetic operations, a compound or an assignment operation, a relational operation, and the logical operations. So generally we use all these binary operations. Means arithmetic operation also, there is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and both these are division operators also, only. Means, again, if I give an example and if I say that slash is a division operation, then it will perform division of two numbers, but it is going to give me the quotient part at the output or at the result. Similarly, this percentage sign, it is not a percentage, it will not calculate your percentage. It will do the division part only, and it will give you the remainder part as a result, that is at the output. So keep in mind that you don't have any operator to calculate the percentage. You have to use a formula for it. You have to write the formula as a statement or as an instruction. So both these operators are division operators. Similarly, assignment operator. I have given an example for pi only, that equal to is an assignment operator, and what it will do is it will give the right hand side value to the left hand side. But what is this plus equal to? It is called as compound operator. What this means is it will perform the addition, and also it will perform the assignment operation. Means both these operations are going to perform in a single instruction or in a single step. So how this happens or how we have to use it, we will see in when we will do the programming part. So everything we are going to use. Relational part, you all know the less than sign, greater than sign, less than equal to, greater than equal to. So four of these relational operators are known. But what is this equal to equal to? So equal to operator is used for the checking purpose. Keep in mind, it is not an assignment operator. This is used to check. Now what it checks is your left hand side and it checks your right hand side. Now, if this is equal, if this is not equal, certain operations need to be performed. Then what operation we have to perform, according to that we have to give the instructions. But what this equal to sign does is it will check the left hand side is equal to your right hand side. So this is a checking part. Similarly, there is one more operator that is not equal to. This exclamation mark is called as not equal to. So what this does is, again, it will check whether my LHS is not equal to my RHS. So both of these operators are used for your checking purpose. So this will give you the equal to part and this will give you the not equal to part. Again, both these operators we have to use it multiple times in our programming. So remember, for checking we have to use these operators. And the logical operators, as I said, some logical operations can be performed. So and operator and or operator, we are going to use it in our programming. And the thing which I was discussing for the operators, and if you want to include multiple statements or multiple conditions in a single instruction, these are the operators that you have to use. So these are the operators that you have to use, and you can include these operators to add two or three or more than one condition in a single statement. So these were all about binary. Ternary, we have a single ternary operator, that is question mark colon. I will give you the entire syntax, that how you have to use the ternary operator and where you have to use it. I will explain this again, and the bitwise also I will explain this with the examples. Whenever we will be programming,